Hello everyone, this is next lesson from Serena, and today we're going to make gorgeous lovely winding which I created a week ago. I had enough time to practice it, but I already made some jewelries using this winding style. So this is the first jewelry I made. This is not perfect, of course, because this is the first version of this winding. But still looks very nice. It's a simple locket here and looks really interesting on your arm, and it looks different when you're wearing it on the skin or just looking at it. It looks different. It must be on the skin, so to see all the winding, the ornament. Here is the very simple connection, because while I was trying to create this winding, I was not caring about how to connect it to the locket. So that's why it's not perfect, of course. And also, when you're gonna make it the first time, of course it would not be perfectly look, and I suggest you to not patinate it, because all disadvantages would be too much visible when you will polish it, because polished areas mostly are on the top, so that's why. So this is the 5 wires, and here I connect them all together and add 6 thin wires, 0.4 millimeters, and that's how I start to connect them by just looping around 5 together plus 6 thin ones, then on the thin ones and one in the center. And now just I fix the wire by looping central wire around by making 2 loops and cutting and just pressing it by the pliers. Now we're gonna separate all wires and straighten them. And here just I use something sticky for a first segment, just to fix all wires as I want. And also I added 2 side wires, and here I'm gonna take first thin wire and make 1 loop over the wires, and the second loop turns around the side wire, and same thing I'm gonna do on the opposite side. It's all very simple, guys, nothing difficult here. I add 4 beads, 0.5 millimeter, and make sure that both sides are absolutely the same. So just I use a stick to show that. So now the first wire I made around 8-9 loops, and 2 wires go above them, just because I need to transport them on the working area. And I keep on going and turning all wires down and creating the rhomb, the shape as I wanted. So it's the same thing I'm doing from the down side. We're going from down to up and separating wires and end. So the main secret in this work is that you have to separate wire each time and make them straight. Just keep your eye on it. So why I'm showing you the video now? Because the ornament itself and making it is very simple, nothing special in that. The main thing you need to remember is how to work with the wires. So I'm going to show you step by step how I'm doing that. So I use the very short wires. Why? Because my working place is very small and I have to adaptate my work to the working place. That's why my jewelry won't be so tidy, not so neat, not like yours if you try to do so. But for me it's important to show you the process, so that's why I will remake all the jewelry when I finish. So we'll start it from the beginning and take the long wires, as long as I need, as is possible. But now I'm going to show you how to do the second segment. Pay attention that my wire always goes over the wire. We are not making aid style winding. No, um, it's actually very simple to say, but it's not really easy to do because we have a big distance between wires, and each time we are making winding we have to watch this distance, keep our eye always on the wires, on the basic wires. Also you can use the sticky paper to fix it, to fix all wires on the distance you need. My wires placed around 5 millimeters between each other. I mean the first and the last wire, and the middle wires have 7 millimeters. It's perfect for a bead size around 5 millimeters or 6 millimeters, not more. That's what I want to say, that this is the jewelry, a kind of jewelry when I say no experiments. Because I already experimented a lot about it and make a conclusion that this is the only way to make a nice neat jewelry. Not of course for me right now, because I used the 2 short wires and the length gonna be finished in the middle of this segment, so my one won't be so nice and neat. But this is not my aim today, just I want to show you the process itself, because 2 long wires, they're touching my camera, unfortunately, sorry guys, but I cannot show you all the bracelet from first step to the last, but all segments are the same, so it's enough to show you 2 of them, and that's why I decided to use photos as well to show you as close as I can. But the main secret of making this bracelet is how to hold the wires. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm using last wire from upside, 1 step over this wire. I'm looping it around. I'm not making double loop here, not at all, and another loop on the up wire, always moving over the thick wires, so the thin wires goes above the thick wires, not under them. And the main thing, separate the wire each time and control the shape of your thick wires. Each step you made, you fixed 1 wire, you corrected a little bit thick wires, made another wire, winded it, and correct all thin wires, just make them straight. And as you see, most of the work I'm not using tools at all. This is a very gentle work. Here I must not scratch any wire. It's very difficult to polish thick wires. The professional wire wrappers, they know that this is a big problem actually. I'm not a professional wire wrapper. I cannot say that, but just I love doing that, and I love sharing my ideas about this bracelet. I was remaking maybe 3 or 4 times, I don't remember, and actually no wire suffered during this experiment. They all survived. I straightened them after each time I was remaking, and I made the opaline bracelet I already showed you in the beginning. It's not really nice because the wires were used and scratched a lot. And this is the experimental model. I already made the necklace using this technique, but just 2 words about necklace. When you're using this technique, you must prepare the final look of the basic wire. So if it's a necklace has a moon shape, and first you're gonna make the shape of the moon from all 5 wires, and only then start winding. You cannot change the shape when you already made winding. So think about it. If you, but it's better to start with the bracelet. So with the straight wires. Okay, I'm making the last one, and my wire is going shorter, so it's not comfortable at all. And probably I'm not going to finish this one, just I will remake it. But I will leave these beads, I like them. So I was thinking a lot how I'm gonna make this video, because it's not really comfortable for me to make the jewelry with such long thin wires in front of the camera. So that's why I decided to cut them in pieces and just showing you. It's not a good way, but there is no other way for me to show you so closely. Okay, so I made both sides, I fixed all the wires, and I removed them from center to both sides. Now I'm going to straighten them. This is personally my technique. Maybe someone had made it before me, I can't know. I don't know, but this is idea I created in my mind when I was carrying on my little baby all the night. I had nothing to do, so I started thinking, and that's how I made it. So you can use anything with a smooth surface, just stretch the wire and it looks like a new. So I divided all wires separated. Keep your eye on this step each time, because if your wires touching each other, maybe one step is good, other step we will match them and do everything in the wrong way. So you're gonna match the wires and not start with the first one, but with the second one or third one, and in the end you will just use your nerves and lots of throwaway, lots of wire. So beads are coming. In this case I already have a little experience with this, so I'm not using sticky paper anymore, but when I was making a necklace, of course I used that, because it was a long jewelry and a shaped jewelry, moon shaped jewelry. So in this case I'm not using, because it's not comfortable to add beads in the process of the work, you know. I had to remove sticky paper each time, and the glue is on the surface of the copper, so I don't like it. If you're a starter, it's better to do that, but actually if you're a starter, I not recommend you to start with this bracelet. I had a greenish bracelet tutorial in my channel here on YouTube. Just it's Egyptian style winding, and I suggested to start with this to practice how to make windings similar to this, but not on the 5 wires. So you see that just I'm looping around the thin first wire which touches the bead. The other 2 wires I left on the left side, as you see that. So I had to add a new wire. I'm so sorry, and this connection won't look neat because it's not the best place to start the new wire, but I have no other choice. And I'm really crying when I'm looking at this awful thing, because it will spoil all the design actually. So now you see that here, when I was talking with you, I made a little mistake. So my wires must not be like this. They must be a little bit this way, like the segment before. My wires are a little bit straight lines, and if I'm gonna try to make them look the same and I start pushing the wires up, you see that the other wires from the opposite sides, they're coming and touching together. So if you want to correct your shape of your work like this is not working. You actually have to remake all the segments from the beginning. Um, it's good that it happened with me now, because I can show you the consequences of this mistake. As you see here, we see the space between the bead and the wires, which is not not looking good. Sometimes it happens if it's a little bit 1 millimeters, 2 millimeters is okay. But here we see the big difference between first segment and second segment. So I can push them up and this distance will disappear, but unfortunately it will damage all the shape of the bracelet. So keep your eye on it as well. Don't be lazy to remake a segment you don't like, because the result will satisfy you a lot if all the work and all the segments will look nicely. I won't take my time to remake it now. Just I will show you what to do. In my first bracelet, all segments were different actually. If you do it the first time, you better not patinate it and not polish it, because when all wires have the same color, it's not really visible. All these little disadvantages, little mistakes are not really visible when you're not polishing the top of the wire. And when you patinate and polish it, the thin wires would be polished first of all, so that's why it's the most visible part of the bracelet, and it must be perfect. So that's what we're going to do. We take 2 wires we left on the back side and move them like this, like a little decoration, and use the wires we used for looping, and just make 2 loops here just to fix these 2 wires, and we create like a little frame for our 4 beads. So 2 wires I left. Why I do that? Because this is the only way to transport my wires to opposite working place when we're gonna work, keep on going. And this wire I used just to fix it. And actually this wire must be the longest, because we use it much more when we are looking over the basic wire, and these wires come shorter very quickly. So I suggest you to use as long wires as you can, as it's possible for you, so you won't need to fix them each time and think how to hide this fix in place, because this work must be perfect, and being perfect with the thin wires is very difficult. So that's why it's for people who already have experience of holding wire, using your thumb to change the shape of the wires. And same thing we do in the top. 2 wires go from the left to the right, and the first wire I used to fix them together. So that's what I make, a little bit. Yeah, that's not really looking good, and I suggest you, if you end in the wire, just keep it and hold it here after the knot, after 2 loops. It's much better, or near to the knot, but not in the center like me. Unfortunately my wire finished not successfully in the center of looping, the looping area. So I'm taking first wire, which is closer to the beads, and I'm holding it like this just to keep my wires in the needed position, and just pull it gently after I did it, if this place is not looking good, just help you with the pliers, but to gently squeeze it a little bit. When I'm doing it not in front of the camera, it's more comfortable working for me, so I just pulling it a bit harder. And the central wire as well. In the central wire, both of our sides gonna meet together. So that's what we're gonna do. We are matching them. So first we are making left side wire, right side left, right. So this wire we already made. When I'm pulling it down, we are removing it from the working place. Why I'm doing that? I'm doing that because all wires look the same actually, and when they're matching I cannot understand where I started, when I finished, or which wire should I go working with now. So that's why I work with this wire and I remove it down. The opposite wire, first opposite wire, goes next. No, this is the wrong wire. First and then central. When I finish the necklace, I'm finishing it now. I will show you this necklace in the next tutorial. This is very lovely necklace with the jade and very neat. And I really like the design in the necklace as well. So the central one. You notice that I turned the jewelry and my wires all looking up, and the made part I put them down, and I'm holding it like this. It's much more comfortable, by the way. So this wire I also pulling down, but from the opposite side. As you see, one from left, one from the right, but they are touching the down area. So keep them like this. And don't forget which side you already use. Down, up, down, left, right, and you keep on going like this. Pulling it to the right. It turns from the left side to the right, and then we are pulling it down. Watch please my fingers, and please follow step by step. This is very important, and no experiments this time. Until you do one or two like these bracelets, and then you probably try to use beads, small beads. I tried to use 8 millimeters and 1 centimeter beads. It's not looking good, honestly. We have to make too big distance between wires, and actually this is the best result I could achieve for trying and remaking. I was so stubborn this time, and each time I was feeling myself so down and upset because nothing was going right. I was remaking it, and finally when I liked the result. So I'm not procrastinating in my work at all. If I have a new idea, I must finish it. So that's why probably I don't like to repeat my works. It's a bit boring for me. Just straightening all the wires and keep them please separating. And the last one, just pulling it like this, holding and pulling it is the simplest way to do this work. Just give me a second. And the middle one. Actually, it looks very simple on camera, but when you start doing that, but please don't get down, don't lose your hope. Just keep on working, remake a little bit, and finally yours work will be much better than mine, I'm sure. So now we are dividing, separating all the wires. This one is pretty short. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I have now enough wire to finish the project, even this segment, and actually I don't want to start new wire because I already destroyed my design once and I don't want to do it the second time. Anyway, I'm going to make it all from the beginning and take the long wires. I was struggling a lot while trying to make video with the long wires. I was remaking it around 5 or 6 times. Finally, I lost my patience and just cut them. Alright, just I will leave it somehow like this. It's pretty hard to work with the short wires and you cannot hold them with the pliers. So just somehow like that. Just you saw principally how to do that. And the main trick I'm gonna show you right now when I will finish with this little short one. Just a little piece I will leave just to show you how to keep on moving wires to make a new segment. So you see, it's better to fix the wire here. If you cut it, that's how I'm doing it actually. So we are holding them and holding them all together, pulling them from one side to other side by holding with all your fingers, straighten them as well, and pull them up like this. This is the most accurate way to do this work. Yeah, this fourth segment I'm not really satisfied about. Sorry again. Try to take around 1 meter each wire, and you will avoid such problems. So that's how it looks like, and you start the new segment. You are looping over the first wire, and then 2 comes up, and you add the beads. So try to keep your eye on these wires. They must be the same as the segment before, but this segment is lost. So probably I will make this bracelet for myself from the beginning, because I really like this winding. Oops. So that's how it looks like. I'm sure yours one will be much better than mine. And now let's look at the locket and how we're gonna make the locket. Also, when you start winding and when you connect the thin wires in the early beginning, oh, I forgot something. Just take your pliers in the middle and just pull it down. I made this action after I made the idea about the winding. I didn't like that the wires from the back, from the both sides, left and right sides, they are straight. It looks somehow, I don't know, not interesting, and it takes away the attention from the form and the shape of the segments. So that's why I made these wires, like these lines are smaller, thinner, and makes the segments looks bigger than they are really. So they now in the center of attention, and the beads as well. So now let's think about the locket. So return to the locket, and also when you start connecting the wires, please leave longer wires, because it will be pretty hard to work with the pliers. I had no choice because my ones are short, and I had to economy wires a little bit, so it's another problem with lockets now, but I have to show you whatever it takes. So this is it first, how it looks in patinating. On the arm it looks very interesting, honestly. I was not expecting that I would love this jewelry after I made it. So this locket on this bracelet is not looking neat, and it's not done properly as I wanted. And after experimenting a lot, I was then thinking that this way is the best for the bracelet locket. If this is the necklace, then you probably will add another decoration. You probably won't need such a connection like this. You separate in here thick wires. Thick wires is enough length here, but the thin wires are a bit short, so just I will show you principally how to do that. But you leave a longer wires here, and your locket connection will look much more accurate than mine as well. So that's what I'm gonna do, is making loops here, and while making loops I am fixing all thin wires around the basic one. I'm fixing them, and I'll cut it here, or I could make it a bit longer. It's up to you. I will make two sides differently, and after all I will look which one I would prefer, because this bracelet is experimental for the video. And opposite side, left side, I would make looping a bit longer. Two short ends, and I'm gonna scratch them a lot, I think so, while working with the pliers, because working with my hands is not really handy in this case, because the wires are too close to each other. It's not comfortable at all, so I'm gonna do it somehow. not really nice. After I finish my necklace, I will show you in the next video, just for you to look at the nice jewelry in this Indian style. But as I told you, this is not for beginners, so probably guys, if you're working as a wire wrappers for a long time, you will definitely understand what I mean, without too much explaining, because the main thing here is experience with the wire working. And actually making locket here, or rings for the locket, the connection itself, it's not really important. You can make your own as you want. or you could just fix these two left and right wires around the one central and just making a loop, and that's it. It's up to you. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's make a loop for the central one, and this loop will hold the locket. Any locket you want. You can search in my playlist called Lockets and Crafts and look up there, where I show how to make the simplest lockets for the bracelets and necklaces. So that's how it is. Not really nice, it scratched a lot the central part, so I have to polish it now. Well, I'm gonna remake it, so I won't do that. But when you work with a thin wire, try to be gentle. It's hard to in the end of the work, it's pretty hard to correct if you've done something wrong by scratching wire with the pliers or something. Now look at the end of the bracelet. Here, this is nice corners here and a nice cubic shape. So that's why I'm not changing this shape, so it's gonna be like this. Looks very nicely, by the way. If you would be accurate and use your own wires, you would be really happy with the result. So make experiments and don't afraid to start with something new. As you see, really nice looking, really. Probably I will leave the opal bracelet for myself and make this one. I will make this one for one of my friends as well. So that's how it looks. By the way, these two wires which goes on the upside, they are very sensitive ones. When you are creating these shapes, just be careful, press it with your fingers very gently, and all of them must look the same, so be careful about. So a little bit polish it just for a video, guys. After I patinate this one, these disadvantages will not be so much visible, and I prefer the short looping, as I saw both sides are a bit different. So this, I prefer more the right side. So I will memorize it, and next time I will use this technique. So let's look at this one. Of course, it's not really looking nice. And so, guys, I was really happy, and I want to thank all 500 of people who are a part of my YouTube channel, and this video I created especially for them. And want to wish them and all of you, for my future followers, I want to wish you a nice jewelry making. Believe in yourself, try something new, make experiments. So this was the lesson from Serena, and see you next time in the new YouTube video. Cheers, guys.